in with what we call let's continue with what we call form validation. So I went and added a new component here, which is register, so that we can have our registration form there. This is the empty component, empty. So we're going to have what we call create a functional component. So functional component, class, constructor, blah blah. So I'm forgetting the commands to use here to create a function. Yeah, I think it's this one, but this is not the one that I want. Export, extend. I want this. Don't want those ones. So state, render. I don't want state, I don't want the render. So let's return just like that. Then we don't need this things there. Then we import React from React. Then yeah, we don't do classes here. Don't want a class. Const register. So we have a register now here. So okay, in here it must be register. So now we are fine. We have a register, functional components, register, and then now we can go and do whatever that we want to do. So but you only need to install to do this. We need to install Formik and install Yup for validation. So you need to do these things through npm, whatever package manager that we are doing. Then npm Formik. So you need to do this using the package manager that we are using. So this is how we can install these things. This part, I already installed these libraries on this project. So just to save time, let's go and then import them. We import Formik, and we import a form from Formik. So now we are done. Now let's go and wrap everything inside Formik. We are wrapping everything inside Formik. Then now let's go and say we want to create we're creating a variable, we can call it Formik, and then now our variable will contain items inside it. So let's say this. So yeah, this is how you can wrap this thing inside here. Then you create a variable. It's an arrow function. Then it will have all the details that you need inside there. So now we can go and say console.log. I want to show you something. Console.log. Then we log Formik, and then does it. So we save, and then now we can refresh, go to home, register, and then when we go to register, we go to console. Then we want to see the object of the Formik library. So you see these are the object: errors, get field props, handle blah, handle reset, everything, initial values. So this is how you can achieve this thing if you want to use them. So to use them, now we want to use we want to assign values to our form. So we're going to use initial values, and then now we can have a name inside here, and then we call this type of string, and we can have a surname here. We can have a surname here, and this type of string, and then we can have a location here, which is type of string. So you can have all these things here. Then we're going to get only name and surname and location. So now we have these inputs that we need. So we're going to go here and then create them. But we're going to need to create them inside what? A form. Now we are using what? This variable here. So we're using that form to bind the form inside here. So now this part we are done. Let's go now inside the register form and import React from React. And then in this one, we need to create a functional components that contains a form that we're going to display inside here. You can go ahead and style it when you are done, but we need to import inside here and display it, and then see how the validation works. So now we need to import. You can use Bootstrap. You can install Bootstrap to install Bootstrap, which is npm install Bootstrap. That's how you can do it, and then you can go there and import it. Import Bootstrap / distribute / css / and then which is bootstrap .mini.css. So this is how you can import your Bootstrap and start using those classes if you know how to use Bootstrap. So let's continue. I'm not going to use Bootstrap in my case, so I'm going to create a functional component. I'm going to call it the register form, and then do return something. And then we need to export it. So now we have this functional component here. Now we can go and then we want to call it inside here. You can go and say register form, stay. Then now we're going to display everything that we want to display this side. So now we can go and say we want to display a label, and then we say hello world. There it is, the label, and then now we can have input just like this. We have an input, then we have this and this and everything. So now we already have everything that we need. So now you can go and say we want to create a form now. So to create a form, we will need to go inside here, and then we need to go inside here and pass some data that we want to show on this side. So we need to go and say create the variables that we need. So our form is going to be, we need a label. So a label for what? For name. And say we can call it a name. Then we need a name for it, and then we can say the name. Then we need type. So type of this text box is text, and then we can have a placeholder and say enter the name. So this is how you can have it like this. So now it has these properties that we need, then we can import them inside here and display. So I'm going to go ahead and copy, paste, and then now I'm going to go and change this name, location, surname, location, enter your surname, enter your location, just like that. So now you can see we have them. It's hello world, hello world. So but now we're going to change this and change this so that we can have these values that we did here. So we can have all these values that we did here. So to do that, we need to go to this side, and then now, since this thing now it receives the argument which we have. The argument we can test by saying label, and then we will see that it received the argument label, and then we can go here and say this label. Now you can see its location and surname. So these are the labels that we need here. So we called them, they're coming from this side. So yeah, now let's go and import everyone. There are many ways to do it, but you can use this method, and then we're passing properties. So this value contains all the properties that we need. So now I think we need to import another variable that we want to use. So let's import we need to import use field from Formik. So now we imported the use field from Formik, and then now we can go ahead and say we want to create new variables that will contain the field and the meta, so that you can be able to say have the values inside here, like field and props. So yeah, so now let's continue and say we want this, we want to forgot that we're creating something which is field and meta equals to use field, and then now we are passing props just like that. So we are done. So now let's go and say we want to pass all these things that we need, which is name, placeholder, type. So you can do them just like this. Or you can just go and do them the way I'm gonna do them now, which in this case is field, and in this case is props, just like this. And then now we are done. So you see we passed them and say it's enter your name, enter your surname, enter your location. So we passed these values that we need. So now let's go ahead and say let's add another thing. Let's say auto complete equals to false, switch it off. And then now let's go inside here and say we want to create a button inside here. So let's say this create button, get data, and then can go ahead and say type of the button, submit, and then now we want to see these values that we enter. Console dot log. Let's put it inside the brackets console where am I writing dot log, then Formik dot values, Formik dot value. Now we save. then now we can go and say we want to inspect whatever that we are typing here. Say you can say go and type, say cannot read property name of undefined. Let's refresh this. We're going to enter it there, which is name, say name, location. It says undefined, 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 undefined. These are the values. I had to put the value state was a value only. So these are the values that I entered. Location, name, blah blah, and everything is there. So which were good. So now I can remove this. Remove that, and then now this is how you can do a form using Formik. And then now we want to use to validate it, so that when you press here, your form will say no, this is not right, there's something missing, enter that, enter what. So we want to put those things here. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So to achieve that, we need to, you have to install this. It's for validation. So you need to have this installed. And then it's for form validation. So now what we need to do is import Yup there. Import everything as Yup from Yup. So we imported everything from Yup. Now we can go ahead and use it. So to do that, we need to create a new function, an arrow function here, which equals, you can say const validate equals to Yup dot objects, and then now we want to have those objects inside here. The object is these things. These are the objects. So you can copy them and paste them here, because these are the objects that we need. So now we say Yup dot string dot required, and then now you can type a message, please enter your name, and now let's say Yup dot string dot required, please enter your surname. Then now we can go here and say Yup dot string dot. You can even have multiple things that you want to do. Maybe you want to have a maximum, and then even a maximum and mini value. When your things are typing, you can see when you have an email here, so it will help you when you want to validate your email. You can say dot email, then it will validate your email, then from there you can write a message, email is not right or something like that. It's valid. So these are the things that you must do. Say mini value, and then max value. You can dot mini, then you write the number that you want there, So to do it, you just say this, then you write I want it to be 12. Then now you can write, please location should contain at least 12 characters. Then you can go ahead and add required there to add it as please enter your location. So this is how you can achieve this entire location there. And then now you can save. Now we validated our form. So now we need to call it inside here. So that it can do the work that we want. So what I did is that now we have this value that we used. It's initialized values, so it's a Formik property. So now there's another property that we can use, which is validation. Immediately I type validate. It said validation schema, validate on mount, validate on change, blah. So those are things that you can use when you do your own coding. So inside here, I'm gonna call my function that I created, which is this one, to validate this form. Then you can go ahead and then have it displayed where you want. So meaning that when we come here and then we cancel this, is going to display an error message. So to do that, we have to have an error message and then import error message. We import error message, and then now we can go and say we want to display an error message if something doesn't go right. So you can go and have it here and say error message, then you call it name equals to field dot name. So it must target the field name. You must target the field name. So you must target the field name. Say please enter, please enter, please enter. So if I do this and then I cancel, this is say please enter your name, or this, then I remove, or this, then I remove. So please enter your surname. So you can go ahead and style this the way you want and style this error message to be read, something like that, the way you want it. Or to do it, you can say component equals to div, then class name, then you can say error. So that's how you can have it, and then you see it's working nicely. But then we say this, it brings that error, the error message. So refresh and say it gives you a message that you need to enter the right things there. So let's go ahead and say you want to change color. For that, you want to go here and then grab a style sheet and then paste it there, and then we need an error, and then this error message. So now you see it's red. So that's how you can achieve this, how to validate your form. So that's the end of our video, and thank you so much.